Do unto others as you would like them have done to you. We are taught the golden rule as very young children. However, it is important for us humans to realize that it must be extended towards all living beings as well, not just to other humans. Now, this past year, my boyfriend gifted me a 2-month-old kitten that I have grown to love. The love that I have for my cat is so immense that it has allowed me to realize the forms of animal cruelty that occur all over the world. I look at my cat and think to myself that every living being deserves the freedom to live a natural life. Now, we are all the same in all the ways that matter. It does not matter what we look like or what language we speak. It doesn't matter if we're covered in fur or in feather or the number of our legs. We all have thoughts and feelings and feel love, pain, and loneliness. None of us deserves to be treated with less respect. Instead of hurting animals, there are a lot of alternatives that we can take and ways in which we can help solve this worldwide issue of animal abuse and really make a difference in the lives of these beings. Now, with this presentation, I will be persuading my audience on why we should say no to every form of animal cruelty. I will be providing options and routes that we can take to help diminish the problem of exploitation for animals in experimentation, fashion, and entertainment purposes. Now, I will talk to you about ways in which we can help prevent animal experimentation and testing. Now, animal testing and experimentation is cruel and it doesn't work. There are many things humans can do to help these two unnecessary abuses towards animals and routes that scientists can help take instead of using animals for every sort of experimentation. The first thing that we can do is that we can make it a habit to purchase cruelty-free products. Now, animal testing is a way of experimentation that uses animals to see what effects chemicals and other products might have on humans. From the animal's perspective, they are usually stuck in a very dark room, they are unable to move, and on a daily basis, they are injected with chemicals every day that make their eyes burn and they make their skin burn and their eyes itch. Now, it doesn't matter how successful a brand is, what really makes it successful in the first place is the number of its customers, how many customers it has. Now, if we all refrain from buying non-cruelty free products, the number of sales would decrease significantly. The brand or company would be forced to change its policies to keep being successful. Hence, that they're going to stop doing animal testing for their products. Now, if companies and brands usually and they have a high demand for their non-cruelty free products, they're going to continue to test on these animals and do what works for them. However, we all know that the cosmetic industry is used and it is purchased worldwide. When purchasing products like fragrances, lotions, creams, makeup, it is important to know and realize if the company supports animal testing. Now, we can help solve this issue by writing the company a letter. We can also buy from cruelty free brands. We can take stands on social media. Now, you can order cruelty free booklets and guides that allow us to know what kind of brands are cruelty free. Now, the second thing that we can all do to help make a difference in the lives of animals is researching with human volunteers and donating our body to science once we pass. Now, according to Tom Regan, a philosophy professor, he states that animals have a basic moral right to a respectful treatment. This inherent value is not respected when animals are reduced to being mere tools in a science experiment. Now, if there are alternatives for testing methods that produce equally valid results than they do in experimenting on animals, then why should we use animals? An alternative route that scientists can take instead of experimenting on animals for research is a method called microdosing. And microdosing uses human volunteers, and it's not dangerous whatsoever. Now, this procedure can provide significant information on the safety of some of the experimental drugs that there are, and how it can be metabolized in humans prior to large-scale human trials. Now, microdosing can replace tests on animals and help screen out drug components that will not work in humans. That way, they are never tested in animals. Now that in this case, we'll know that it won't work. Now, another reason why we should say no to animal testing is because to help, humans can do many things to help. In addition, we can help donate our body to science once we pass away. Now, according to Christina Stillwell, you can help scientists, doctors, and medical students advance their research and training without hurting animals by arranging to donate your body to science after you die. Now, there are so many alternatives and ways to help prevent animal abuse in labs for experiment and testing. We should all do our part and help and do these things to help end animal testing. Now, next, I will dive into approaches that humans can take to help the animal exploitation for fashion and entertainment purposes. The first thing that we can do to help make a difference is wear vegan clothing. When we shop for clothes, we should always choose something vegan and not someone. The campaign manager for the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, Christina Sewell, states that PETA's moving ads will encourage shoppers to leave items that stripped animals of their lives on the rack and opt for chic and humane vegan clothing instead. Now, in addition, Katrina Russo, who is an animal rights activist, states that vegan clothing is more sustainable than clothing made by animals and as the production and materials are used are less damaging and healthier for the environment. Now, not only are all of these vegan clothing better for our earth, but they are also free of animal cruelty and or any suffering. So the production of animal-derived materials, for instance fur and leather, contributes to climate change, pollution, land devastation, and water contamination. Now, wearing vegan clothing is a reasonable way and a reasonable route that we can take to help make our earth cleaner, better, and the animals that live in it. Another thing that we can do to help make a difference is saying no to SeaWorld and saying yes to marine sanctuaries. Now, we all know what SeaWorld is. However, SeaWorld is the exploitation for entertainment purposes of animals. Signing petitions online or sending captive animals to sea sanctuaries is a way to prevent animals from being locked away at SeaWorld for entertainment purposes. Now, the former SeaWorld's biologist, Dr. Hall states that SeaWorld has been involved in a lot of illegal and unethical actions to ensure their parks are well stocked with killer whales. Now, the dolphins and the whales usually become depressed when they are locked away in these small tanks. This results in frequent violent behavior from the animal and it can lead to serious fatal injuries of the workers. We can help put an end to this. This is not visiting SeaWorld or any other marine park, not supporting them, and not going to their shows. No visitors will force these parks to shut down, and hence these animals will be free and they will be able to roam in the ocean. Now, in conclusion, animals are exploited and slaughtered every day for our own desires and for our own reasons. Now, whether it is to entertain us, to keep us warm, or to help meet our fashion standards, or for our research, animal cruelty is just not justified. We're all the same, and there are many ways that we can help prevent the mistreatment and deaths of thousands of animals worldwide. I hope you all found this presentation helpful and allowed you to understand why we should say no to any form of animal cruelty. Thank you.